Welcome to Amsterdam, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's a joy to see everyone. If I don't hug you now because you're new and I've never met you before, then next time I see you, I will hug you, so beware. Don't let it put you off. You don't get any discount. So, I'd like to start with our Giants of Female. This one's quite applicable, because Kathleen Booth Britton died last month, sadly, aged 100, which is not so sad, which is, it's a good age. And she's very close to my heart because she invented assembler, or assembly language, which is the first thing I ever programmed. That's how old I am. And that's something from the book, and that's 1947. Quite a lot of the females that built the software engineering trade came from the depths of history, and they came from secret. So she worked for the RAF, and it was all secret. Nobody knew. So, yeah, 1947. Cool. Look it up. Very interesting. She's cool. So we're entering a sort of period of change. One of those changes is that we're beginning to self-organise. And there's beginnings of a global community of groups and conferences and organisations. So get involved, because that's how it works. Because we're all part-timers, we're all doing it for free, and it's hard work. So the more of us that do it, the better. So get involved, user groups. There's GDevCons in NA. Hint to sponsors. Just buy me stuff and then I'll do product placement. GDevCon NA water, it's lovely. Thanks, Sam. G Central, look them up. I'm not going to do your work for you. There's bits and bobs about user groups going on around. We're trying to encourage people on the Discord to talk about their user groups, please. They're very handy. You make friends. People are nice generally. So my keynote is about positive thoughts. We are in a period of less positive thoughts, but we've come through COVID. We're at an event. Have fun. Go out, get drunk. We're out, we're free. This is a good time. You don't know if it's going to get took away, so. And I don't know, I wrote this years ago, but I still like it. People get a bit insecure and they get like imposter syndrome and things like that. You're top of the chain. Billions of years of evolution has made you appear on this planet. You've done all the hard work of, I don't know how people can feel insecure. It's just you've won. You've won at life. Sorry. I'm very simple. This is my simple. Oh, and the other thing is, what we're doing, we're building things in our heads, and making clouds in the air, and it's things of pure imagination. It's astonishing. So yeah, I'm very pleased to see everyone. I think you're all amazing, really. But one thing I've noticed in my long career is that there is a race to make us average at everything. And I'm quite into sort of sports science and things like that, and it's changed lately, and what they do is, rather than make everyone good at every aspect of a game, like football, for example, they concentrate on their strengths. And I think this is very applicable to software engineering. So I, for example, am very good at talking to customers. I'm very good at design. I'm not very good at testing. I find it really, really, really boring. Awful at documentation. I find that I make that very expensive because I don't like doing it. But everyone's different. There are people here who are very detail-oriented. We've all got very different brains. And rather than say, oh, I'm not very good at this, I need to go and practice this thing I hate. I think a more positive way is just to look at the things you're good at and go, I'm going to not just be good at this, I'm going to be brilliant at it. And you're doing something that you like. Because there's always other people that are doing the thing that you don't like, and are doing it better than you. And you can pay them to do it. I've used this graph, and it's got a fundamental flaw. So it's a type of graph where you look at it and go, right, these are the areas I want to improve. And it's a number between 0 and 10. And the reason I think that it's flawed is that it doesn't indicate, it indicates it's linear between 0 and 10. Well, what if 10 is almost impossible? You know, what if it's so hard to get to 10 that it takes all your effort and you have to reduce the other areas? So I think you need to be competent, but the 10 is the thing that you should be aiming for in the thing that you love doing. So anyway, that's why I think that graph's flawed. So I'll stop. I'll put it on a logarithmic or something. It may work. So it's becoming the best you possible. And it's just particularly applicable, I think, to teams. It's don't have a homogenous team. Have teams that are good at different things. You know, you get the guy who's up the Asperger's, or girl who's up the Asperger's thing, who's really, really into detail. They're wonderful. Love them. They are huge, huge asset. Get them doing the thing they love doing, the detail bit. You get the flaky creative types at me, that waving my arms around, being nonsense. Use me where I'm useful. Don't make me do these things I don't like doing. Which takes us on to diversity. And you see here in the very nearly all male audience, software has a diversity problem, but I don't care about gender and race and stuff like that. The only thing that matters is this. It's that. And it's the diversity of this that is important. The other diversity helps because different people just help. But really, we need to be embracing people who think differently. And that leads on to everything else. If you just concentrate on this, everything else is kind of meaningless. So yes, it's just similarity breeds groupthink. And you know. So my first business partner and me, we were like identical twins at our brain. And we were both terrible people. We both egged each other on to be more terrible people. And it made a particular type of company. You know, we took a lot of risks, and we didn't make a lot of money. My new business, I say new, he's been business partner for like 15 years. We're very different. He's more risk averse than I am, and it just fits so much better. Surround yourself with people who are different than you. And this is where we are at the moment. We're at a point of change in the world, in the LabVIEW world, and there's different ways you can sort of look at it, because you have very little control over it. So it's how you look at it is the important thing. So really, you can sit there and whinge about it and just make yourself miserable. Or you can try and understand where the change is coming from, why the change is happening. And that's, when you've understood it, you can take advantage to it. And also it makes you more resilient to it, because you think, oh, well, you know, this change is not happening because they hate us, or some paranoid delusion, it's happening because of this. So. Not related, but I'm now, that was my keynote part of my keynote. I'm now doing the thanks bit of my keynote. I put a lot of effort into this. Thanks to our sponsors, without whom, actually, that is a bit low. As we can tell, this is not a cheap venue. This is a lovely venue. But without our sponsors, that is kind of the price of the ticket. So it's not just the sponsors, it's also the free work that people put in. Again, if that was charged, that would be very, very expensive. Without you guys buying tickets and coming, again, It would be a very sad event if it was all empty. And I was just thinking to myself, I wouldn't care, because I've got like a microphone and I've got a big screen. That's pretty much as I care about. But you know, for everyone else, it'd be a bit disappointing. Got to be a particular type of narcissist to really enjoy this kind of thing. I might hire it just for me later. And I'd like to do a personal thanks, because I always forget to thank people, so I put it in slide form so I don't forget. But this is a personal thanks to the GDevCon team. If you see somebody in a blue shirt, which I'm not wearing, I seem to have lost it, or you see a blue shirt draped over something, that'll be mine. But if you see somebody in a blue shirt, thank them. Thank them for the amount of hard work that they've put in for free. And this has been an amount of hard work. It has been an enormous amount of hard work. You know, we've had a hard old time of it. So appreciate everyone. I am open to being bought drinks, gifts. You will get a mention in the next keynote if I do it. And that's it. Keynote done. Yeah.